Hello everyone, I'm Raven from Raven Comics, and today we will continue whatever happened to the Caped Crusader. I was reading some comments from the first video, and many of you found it to be a strange story, and it truly is. This is a story written by Neil Gaiman that was published in Batman's main line, but at the same time exists outside of continuity. The work functions as a reflection on who Batman really is, what his fight means, and why he will never cease to exist. He sees himself dead, yet he always comes back, because for Bruce Wayne, Batman will never cease to exist. I am present. I seem to be present at my own funeral. Everyone here is telling stories about me. Poison Ivy, Commissioner Gordon, all of them. Each one tells stories of different lives, of different deaths. It feels like a dream, but it doesn't seem to be a dream. I don't know what this is. And if you're wondering, I'm not insane. There is someone here with me, a woman I cannot see. It's as if she is standing beside me, or around me, speaking to me. She tells me I am not dead, but I'm not sure I believe her. We begin at Batman's funeral. Everyone tells their own version of events. Elizabeth Kane told him there was nothing he could do. The situation was complicated. If he let go of the lever, the bomb would explode instantly. If he didn't, it would explode in 1 minute, taking half the city with it. There was nothing he could do. But that is something Batman does not believe. There is always something that can be done. Batman clutched the bomb tightly, as if holding a child, refusing to let go of the lever, diving into Gotham's harbor. As Batman said, there's always something to do. Once Batman plunged into the water, the bomb exploded, and he managed to protect the city, dying in the process as a hero. Then comes the Mad Hatter's version. He told Batman he couldn't keep fighting, that the villains had already won. Batman stared at him with those intense white eyes and said he never gives up. This isn't over. It's never over. That was the last thing he told him. In his final moment with the Joker, the clown wanted him to laugh, but for some reason he didn't. The Joker had injected him with poison, enough to kill an army of elephants. Yet somehow, Batman wasn't laughing. Batman wasn't dying. The Bat told him, this isn't funny. After some time, he simply fell and died, but he still wasn't laughing. And he was right. It wasn't funny, though perhaps it should have been. The next to speak is Robin. Batman did the impossible. He supposes that's what heroes do. And he also has to say that Batman was his hero since he was a child. They say you should never meet your heroes, but he supposes he knew him better than anyone. He was kind, a brilliant man, not a funny man. That's why Batman let him tell the jokes. Everything else, Batman was. He was everything else, and he did the impossible. He was a saint who never gave up. No matter what happened, time and again, he performed miracles. In the end, he died for them all. And so, Robin also learned to do the impossible. Clayface mentions that Batman died saving the city. Well, not exactly. Yes, he saved the city, but he died saving him. Clayface told him he wasn't worth rescuing. Batman told him that everyone in this life is worth saving. The last one to tell his story is Superman. The Man of Steel said his job was to inspire others to be better, so they could rise above what they were. Batman, in contrast, didn't inspire them, he frightened them. He was as bad as the worst of the villains. Batman told him that he stood between the worst of them and the city. Superman knew all of Batman's enemies had made a pact. If Batman ever returned, they would kill him. They wouldn't let him rest until he was dead. Batman smiled, and with that chilling grin, he said, as long as they're trying to kill me, they won't kill innocents. And so he did. That was the last time Superman saw him. Elsewhere, Batman finds a door. He wants to go through it. He feels it's the right thing to do, so he's going to pass through. He thinks he's figured it out. It's strange. He knows he is Batman, but he no longer remembers being Batman. He doesn't remember if he was one of the ones they spoke of or not. Well, he doesn't think it matters anymore. The Bat is in a dark place, wondering if this is what the brain does when you die. In front of him stands a woman bathed in light. This seems to be what they call a near-death experience. It's a classic. It checks all the boxes. He feels serene and calm. His life plays on repeat again and again, though it doesn't quite look like his life. Is he really dead or not? Someone tells him not yet, but he's close. The woman tells him that very soon, his time will come. Another thing that happens in a near-death experience is that you meet relatives or friends, those who died before you. Now that he looks closely, he recognizes the person standing in front of him. She is his mother. Martha tells him that yes, she is. Bruce then wonders if this is real or something happening only in his head before the end comes. His mother asks if there's really any difference at this point. He supposes not. It's too subjective. So then, what did Bruce learn from his funeral? Not many people get to attend their own burials. From the very beginning, he was there, so he had to learn something from it. What Batman learned is that no matter how the story goes, some things never change. Because even when they don't speak of him directly, they still are. Because they are speaking of Batman. Batman makes no deals, he preserves this city. Even if it would be safer for him alone, he never yields or gives up. Sometimes he falls in battle, other times he dies in a grand, heroic way. Bravely, he saves the city from something that could destroy it. Sometimes it's a small, ironic, unnoticed death. He dies rescuing a child from a fire or confronting a frightened pickpocket. Everything changes, nothing stays the same. Every friend betrays him sooner or later. Every enemy turns into a lover or a friend. But there is one thing that never changes. He never surrenders. He cannot surrender. Batman protects the city, rescues people, investigates crimes, shields the innocent, and corrects the guilty. He truly understands it now. The end of Batman's story is, and always will be, his death. Because in the end, Batman dies. What else could he do? Retire and play golf? It doesn't work that way. He can't, because he fights until he falls, and one day he will fall. But until then, he will keep fighting. Martha tells him that's right. He fights until it's over, and then he dies. When they find a body, they'll put it in a coffin. Until then, he will keep fighting. Because he must, because you cannot stop. No matter what happens. But no matter how many days he saves, no matter how many times he dies and is reborn, he cannot bring his parents back. He still remembers sitting in her lap, reading. Martha never saw much happiness, but Bruce was perfectly happy. We're back on that night. Bruce was saying goodnight to everything he could, thanks to that goodnight book. To the clock, to his house, to the stars, and more. His father came in and told him he was too old for that book. Martha said it was no problem. The book made him very happy. Thomas urged them to hurry, otherwise they'd miss the movie if they didn't leave soon. Everything began that very night, in an alley with Joe Chill. The family was on their way home. The three were talking about the movie when suddenly Joe Chill appeared. He wanted to take the pearl necklace Martha was wearing. Both Bruce Waynes watched, the child and the one who had already died. Just like that night, neither of them could do anything. And the story repeats and repeats. No matter if you die and are reborn, it always happens the same way. Bruce is left alone in the alley, standing over the bodies of his dead parents. Batman tells her this isn't a battle, it's a war that never ends. Martha tells him it always ends, it's ending now. Batman asks, what comes next? Is this his near-death experience? Is he about to return? Will he wake up on the shore of some river or in a hospital bed? Unfortunately for him, this time it won't be like that. Batman doesn't believe there is anything after death. He doesn't believe there's any place you go if you were good or bad in this life. He has tried to believe in it, but he simply cannot. What is happening is only in his brain, and he doesn't think he's wrong. In fact, he could swear his mother isn't really here at all. Martha tells him that she is, that she has always been here. Both of them are at the funeral, standing before his body. Martha asks him if he's ready to let go and claim his reward. Batman still doesn't believe in heaven or hell. He won't leave this place. That wasn't the reward Martha was talking about. The only reward you get for being Batman is becoming Batman. When he was a child, he had a handful of years of true happiness, with his father and mother by his side. That's more than some people ever get. This time, he can stop fighting, just for a few more years. This is over, and he has to let it go. That's why they were remembering the moment when he was reading the goodnight story. It's as simple as that. He has to say goodbye, to say goodnight. And so Batman begins to say farewell. Goodnight house. Goodnight Batcave. Goodnight dinosaur. Goodnight mechanic. Goodnight giant penny. Goodnight Batmobile. Goodnight Alfred. Goodnight Robin. Goodnight Joker. Goodnight to all of you. Goodnight Jim Gordon. And goodnight, Gotham City. The bat signal in the sky turns into a pair of hands. The stars in the darkness slowly fade into a great light. The hands hold a newborn child. A birth has just taken place, and the doctor tells Mrs. Wayne that her baby is a boy. She welcomes her newborn baby. Hello, Bruce. Batman never dies. Thank you very much for watching this video. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe for more content like this. I'm TJ Prime, and see you in the next video.